Most Americans say they live in a democracy, but that's not quite true. Ask 10 Americans what form of government they live under, and most will say, a democracy. That's not quite true. The United States was never designed to be a pure democracy. It's a constitutional republic, a system created to limit the power of the people just as much as the power of the state. And that distinction matters. Rule by the people or the law. Democracy means direct power. A republic limits it with law and with design. Democracy means rule by the people. It traces back to ancient Athens, where citizens voted directly on laws. Every eligible voter had a voice, unfiltered, immediate, final. But the Founding Fathers didn't trust that. They feared the tyranny of the majority, the idea that a passionate mob could vote away the rights of the minority. So they chose a different path, a republic. A republic is based on rule of law, not rule of emotion. Leaders are elected to make decisions on behalf of the people, and a constitution sets boundaries that even majorities can't cross. At least, that's how it's supposed to work. Madison didn't just want balance, he wanted barriers. James Madison called pure democracy incompatible with personal security or the rights of property. So what they built instead was a buffer. The Electoral College, a Senate that originally wasn't even elected by voters, and a powerful Supreme Court. The system wasn't just cautious, it was restrictive. It was designed to protect against populism, upheaval, and direct public control. And over time, that caution became a cage. The system in practice. We see the performance of democracy, but the truth lies underneath. Today, we have the appearance of democracy. We vote, we debate, we watch televised clashes and cast our ballots. But behind that image lies a deeper truth. Gerrymandered districts twist representation. Voter ID laws and purges target the poor and marginalized. And the Electoral College gives one voter in Wyoming nearly 4 times the power of one in California. And then there's the money. The power of the few. Citizens United turned elections into auctions. After the 2010 Citizens United decision, the Supreme Court declared that money is speech. Since then, American elections have become auctions. Billionaires fund candidates. Corporations bankroll policy agendas. And super PACs, shadow groups with no accountability, flood campaigns with unlimited spending. The result? Candidates don't need the support of voters. They need the support of donors. We elect representatives, but who do they represent? This isn't democracy. It's the illusion of democracy. We elect representatives who often represent someone else. The system gives us the sense of control, while real decisions are made behind closed doors. In boardrooms, in lobbying firms, at donor retreats. In practice, we are ruled not by the people, but by a professional political class, funded by elites, protected by institutions that were never truly meant to be democratic. And most of us never question it. Why this matters? You can't fix what you don't believe is broken. Understanding the difference between a democracy and a republic isn't a technicality. It's a wake-up call. If we believe we live in a government where the people have power, we may not realize how little of that power remains. If we think the system works for us by default, we won't notice when it's been hijacked. And if we're taught that representation is working, while outcomes grow worse year after year, we'll blame ourselves instead of the machine. They feared mobs, but not oligarchs. The founders built a system meant to resist sudden change. What they didn't foresee was a slow drift. Small legal tweaks over time have hardened into structural dominance by a minority. They feared mob rule, but they didn't fully guard against oligarchy. Now we live with both fears. A system vulnerable to authoritarian populists who exploit public rage, and resistant to reform, no matter how popular it is. That's not democracy. It's stagnation dressed in tradition. When the truth breaks through, the illusion can't hold. And yet the illusion is cracking. More Americans than ever see the truth. That voting alone isn't enough. That laws don't always reflect the will of the people. That justice isn't applied equally. That power doesn't live in the voting booth. It lives in the money, in the courts, in the party machines. When people say the system is broken, what they mean is, it was never built for us in the first place. A republic unchecked becomes rule by the elite. A democracy symbolic becomes a lie. So what now? We could cling to the illusion. Keep casting ballots, hoping this time the system will listen. Or we could demand more. Real representation. Real accountability. Real change. That doesn't mean rejecting the Constitution. It means reclaiming it, expanding it, modernizing it, because a republic, unchecked, becomes rule by the elite. And a democracy, if it's only symbolic, becomes a lie. If democracy is going to survive, we have to stop mistaking form for function. The illusion must end.